book I would like to present to you this morning is one entitled Digital Landscape Photography, and as the name suggests, it's one that gives instruction on how to improve your landscape photography skills. And it's published by an organization called Focal Press. They actually published many books on the topic of photography, ranging from subjects such as portraits to wildlife and various other things. But the interesting thing about this one is the author, Michael Fry, is actually a professional landscape photographer who strives to follow in the footsteps of the world-famous Ansel Adams photographer. And he actually bases most of his photography in none other than Yosemite Valley itself, the same place that Ansel Adams did most of his work. And it's not a very long book. It's pretty short, only 160 pages, but each page is filled with awe-inspiring, incredible landscape pictures that will really get your creative juices flowing. And so it was published only 3 years ago, in 2010. So that means that all of the examples it uses with equipment and software is pretty up to date with the latest technology. The audience that it's targeted towards is primarily aspiring amateur photographers, but the great thing about this one is that even complete novices will be able to benefit from reading this book. And maybe you're wondering, well, I don't have an interest in photography, how would I be able to benefit from reading this book? But here's an example. I'm sure many of you have been to some other country, maybe some other national park perhaps here in the US, where you beheld a beautiful landscape scene, and you're like, I just want to be able to capture this so I can remember it. And so you pull out your camera and take a picture, but when you get home to look at the pictures, you just weren't able to reproduce the beauty that you saw with your eyes. And this book here takes the principles of lighting and composition and gives you insights on how you'll be able to apply those to your photography. And so I'd like to read a quick quote here. He actually quotes another author, Elliot Porter, which reads, "The art of photography is knowing how much to exclude. You can't photograph the whole world." And he continues this over the page here, where he says, "The best compositions are simple. The photographer's points stand out clearly without distraction or clutter." And so this book will really help you to gain an insight into the principles of composition and lighting and be able to pull it together to reproduce the beauty that we see in nature around us, reproduce the beauty that God has given us on this earth in creation. And so for those of you that are interested in picking up this book, it's actually available at many local bookstores such as Barnes & Noble, and it's also available online for a much discounted price of only $16.